He does it multiple times a week. Oh, it's working. Yeah. It's Bussy anyway. It's not even a girl. It's been a running meme in this game for a very, very long time of the iconic phrase buying GF. But I mean that's in all MMOs. Final Fantasy just has a disproportionate amount of actual females playing that game, furries, trans, and twinks. Don't forget about body type 3. I remember Tara. Lolly. No, Lolly. No. It's a race, and they force you to play that race if you want to play a class. Like the way they designed it, all the best meta classes and new classes they added to the game were only playable as females that just so happen to either be furries, lollies, or a tiefling. No, they know their market. It was an Asian game, dude. Yeah. Yeah. god, I shot called in League, so that's like I actually have experience doing it, and you have to say what you want to say summarized in the shortest amount of time. You can't be, you see a Black Panther and a second later you say, there's a BP behind us. Nope, too vague, you might as well have not fucking talked because you just got your whole team to turn around and not know where they're even supposed to be looking. You need to say, like, you need cardinal directions or call outs that, like, anybody should know, like how CSGO or Valorant works. It's behind, okay, it's directional first and then height second. So if they're above, it would be behind above or up top. Or behind looking for a flank left. Like, you just need a little bit, but you need to, like, be on the fly. Because certain characters, you only get, like, half a second to actually call it out before they're on top of you killing you, like BP. And like from a support standpoint, all you have to do is say something akin to BP's looking for a pick on the flank, and then you just spam I need healing. That will get everyone's attention immediately. Because it's annoying. It's like spam pinging in League. Even when people hate it, oh, you got their attention though. People are going to ignore it. The only pings people listen to is I just spotted this, which is when you ping a character, or I need healing. Anything else will fall through the wayside. Attack here, don't give a shit. But usually even those callouts aren't going to be too much work or helping too much. It's the shit that I say or don't say to Corey that I really should just calm, but I don't fucking feel like it because I'm not in like upper GM or Celestial where no, it's really important to say that if you know, like you have a really good knowledge of how the ult charges on another character, whether it's because you just died to him or you know, like it's been 2.5 minutes. Strange has ult. I don't see Strange. Immediately calm. Strange is looking for an ult because he's probably above you, drifting down right now, or based off of patterns, you can just tell like it's been X time since an ult. People approach a fight differently. Strange always fights on the ground to slow push with his team as a line of scrimmage. If he's randomly drifting in the air when he wasn't forced out to drift in the air and shield to recover, he's he's looking for an ult. If Groot is all of a sudden trying to like run into your team, he's trying to force you to clump for an ultimate. Um, this one, yeah, it's very predictable when it's going to happen because usually it's on an objective based mode where you're pushing a cart. If it's past the halfway point and he gets picked off, he's going to just portal back unless there's less than 2 minutes left in the round because you have to save it for overtime. If you do not save your strange portal for overtime, you will be flamed when there is no portal for overtime. And that expectation grows to such a margin, like around diamond and up, even if there isn't a strange in your lobby. Someone expects in overtime for the first person to drop. It doesn't matter if you're support, tank, or DPS. Whoever is up first needs to hot swap to strange and portal us in. It doesn't matter if you're shit at the character. We're not going to lose at least if you give us a chance. But like a lot of people play on autopilot from a different perspective. That's why like playing support, I know exactly how most fights are gonna play out once I hear a support ult go off. It's gonna go support ult, DPS ult, support ult, DPS ult, support ult, DPS ult, DPS ult, support ult. Then we actually get to a real fight. Who had more tank ults left? Tank ult, wipe. Or a 6 save. But usually most people react to a DPS ult with this just a support ult. No, you try to ride that shit out, because if you do play into that domino game, the next tank ult will just team wipe. DPS ult's scary. Tank ults actually wipe a team. Yeah, Strange and Group. Those are the big ones. I'm not talking about like Mag or Penny. But here's the thing. When you start the DPS into support ult domino effect, where both teams end up using 4 ultimates, 2 support ults each, and a couple DPS ults on top of that, you no longer have a support ult, but worse, everyone has now been turned into a monkey. They've grouped up on the Cloak and Dagger ult, or they've grouped up on the Luna ult because they have to keep with her. Because they grouped up, no one, and this is where it gets really sweaty, in High GM and Celestial, supports that are doing Luna ults and things like it will begin a countdown. And when it's getting to like close to it ending, they'll say 5, 4, 3, 2, because you guys need to get the fuck away from me and we need to back off in this moment, because the second it turns off and you're still grouped, you're going to get Strange or Groot ulted and wiped. Yes, you have actually reset the fight in their favor, and then it's going to happen again. Like, Cloak and Dagger doesn't have a lot of skill expression. Rocket doesn't have a lot of skill expression. The expression comes from managing cooldowns and knowing the flow of fights, and know that, like, okay, the enemy Cloak and Dagger just ulted without us having to use an ult. If we can just deal with it for like 5 or 6 seconds and then we support ult, it's an automatic win. Very few things can break that offset, because they're going to have to use the other support ult to stop your support ult when their first one ends. But now you have a support ult second. It's also why you need to have that conversation at the start of your game if you feel like you're playing with good players. I'll ult first. Because if you double support ult, now you're really fucked. That can actually just throw the entire game away starting like 2 minutes in. Very rarely is it a good idea to stack ults, and it's almost always rocket ult, because it's a damage boost that can break through certain support ults. That penny shit looks less Borderlands inspired than I thought, but it's definitely inspired by Borderlands. Like, Borderlands 4 releases in 4 days. Penny skin related within the same week? Weird coincidence, but there's no like tie-in to it. I feel like it might have been like because Borderland is tied to Epic, and Epic might have had something a long time ago where it's like, if you create a tie-in, we'll give you extra income or allow you to put your game on our platform. Because, like, it's really weird to see an underage girl. I'm sorry, developers. They made her 18 just because they were worried about the porn being made of her. Um, she's missing a leg. Like, she has a artificial, like, an automail leg. In that skin, she has a missing leg, yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's a little weird because in Marvel you probably wouldn't show the effects of war or the apocalypse relevant to children. In Borderlands, that's part of the joke, where you meet someone like Tiny Tina. Oh, you're not seeing the biggest thing because they removed it, which makes me really think it was made for Borderlands 4 and they pulled out. That was cel shaded originally. Yes. Here, I'll show you an image and you tell me if this doesn't look Borderlands-esque. Because when it's presented in this fashion, it looks like Borderlands art. I'm trying to find it. Unless it was an edit someone did to that, which would be really weird, that was cel shaded. Google's not feeding me anything. I do have to play it still. The last week of bonuses came out. Want to get my couple hundred units. We'll roll over to a real skin. Oh, it has been data mined that loot boxes are coming to Marvel Rivals, so it would be very interesting how they implement those. Well, no, it's about what will be in them. Like, the speculation is that all the sprays and emotes will be taken out of the battle pass and replaced with loot boxes instead. Because there's still, ever since the beginning, complaints about the battle pass because it's kind of valid. Why am I paying money for lore entries? Can someone explain that? It's already normal to fill a battle pass with trash, like the sprays they put in it, or the title emblem, whatever, like your title picture, your banners. Um, that's normal, but lore entries is not normal. Yeah. But I still don't have a problem with the battle pass. It's not as generous as most in the world, but it's generous than a lot of them. They complained about them when they were first around because they were illegal. They promoted gambling, the rates weren't listed, and then laws changed around the world so that it was fair. You knew the exact rates of what you were potentially going to get out of the loot box. That's when people really disliked it. When Overwatch 2 came out, people flipped the fuck out when the loot boxes were taken away because they were a free way of potentially being able to get certain skins in the game. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm downstairs. Star Wars. Hey, Darth Maul's on my Coke can. That's the next can in the box. That's for Jared. My phone. How'd that fall out of my pocket? Where the fuck is it? No, it's just my phone. Yeah, I got it. You can turn the light off. You're fine. I mean, normally I'm fine navigating in the dark. It just slipped out of my pocket somehow. As Inya looks at something.
No, she's trying to kill everyone today on the street.
Oh, she's ganking them. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Gatekeeper of the stairs. Okay, I'm back. I don't know how much I cut out when I was trying to talk about loot boxes, by the way. Okay. But, like, the net positive that they could do with them is let's remove all the sprays and titles that people don't necessarily give a shit about in the battle pass, and we'll replace them with loot boxes. These loot boxes could contain things like unstable whatever for your chromas. They could have sprays. They could have banners. They could have skins that aren't selling well from the first couple seasons that they offer tokens for, where it's like, hey, there's orange venom or pink venom, but if you spend $5 on it, you'll get a token, which can get you up to like a legendary skin for Hulk because no one's buying it. And like the way the business would work really is it doesn't matter whether you're spending $10 on a battle pass, $10 on a skin, it still reads as the same profit of like its source to them. So if they make more money from people buying the battle pass more often through getting the skins that aren't selling anyways, then they're selling more skins. Yeah. It also may just be a region lock type of thing where it's only allowed in certain countries. Like League of Legends. In League, depending on if you're in Latin America, China, or America, like North America, you actually have completely different things in your shop. Not prices, like literally different shit accessible in the store that's not accessible in a different store's region. Like, for a very long time, Pool Party Mundo was not available in North America. It only became available after there was a charity event where if you bought this skin, they would donate to, it was some charity related to sea life. There was like an oil spill or something. Yeah. Previously, Pool Party Mundo was only buyable in South America servers. Latin America North, Latin America South, or I don't know if there's a Latin America South, but I know there's a Latin America North. I think it was Brazil then that had the Mundo skin. Um, and in China, they actually have that shit's like the Wild Wild West. They're allowed to put on sales that are completely different than how we do it in North America and have weird bundles or put things on sale that aren't supposed to be sold at all. Like world skins outside of when the world tournament is going on, you're not supposed to sell those. But China doesn't have any restrictions on it because they're like treated differently for some reason. Yeah. Um, I know in Japan when their servers started, they had bundles that were never on any other server in the game. Whereas like, hey, we'll offer you like these 7 champions with these legendary skins for like $20. And it's a smart way to get people to spend money on something that they're just getting into without understanding the value necessarily of it. They just see that it's a percentage off, but they never really look into like a percentage off of what? What's 30% off of Annie and Wonderland skin when no one uses that legendary skin, period? Yeah. It's typical mobile marketing type of shit where it's like, newcomer only, 3 days left. You save 207% value. And it's like, value of what? Well, you're new, so you're not going to have any understanding of the deep economy that has like 7 different currencies to it of what your value actually accumulates to. But because they put a time limit on it, aka being a new player in League or a new server start, you're probably just gonna buy it. And if it's super cheap, they won. Because it's something like for mobile games, there's a statistic done on them, and it's something crazy like 90% of people that can spend $1 or $2 on a game within the first week of playing it will spend an average of $20+ throughout their lifetime of playing it. But if they're never prompted to spend a dollar or two in the game early on, then they never spend money on the game at all. Yeah, it's basically how drug dealers offer you the first hit for free. Like, the trick is getting them through the door. It's not hard to get a recurring deal, or like, once you're addicted, it's not hard to make you a repeat customer. It's hard to get you started. And that's why certain games have very disgusting tactics, like Diablo Immortal and Release. They had packages that were only available to the first week of play when you made your account. And they were only 99 cents and $2.99. But here's how they trick you. Once you authorize that 99 cents, every purchase after that does not require an authorization. So if you go 99 cents, ooh, what's this $100 package deal? Click, it's automatically bought. And since it's a game charge, if you charge back on your credit card, and this is pretty much how every video game in the world works now, you'll be permanently banned. Yep. Because they have to basically label it as fraud. Because that's the only way you can actually get out of that chargeback. What they did was perfectly legal, so you agreed to the terms in the first instance, so you agreed to the terms on the back end on the second instance. So the only way really to charge back is say the classic is, I'm sorry, my child was playing a mobile game and my card was linked to the phone, so he was just buying stuff, and they're like, understandable, we'll lock the account permanently. There's no two-way street or like you get to have it and get to keep your account. No, no, no. The stuff will remain on the account and it's going to be banned. I would like to blame gotchas for that, but Blizzard started doing that long before gotchas became popular at all. boy's a man now. He owns a German Jap. Yes. He says, okay, Peggy, that man ain't right. He says that boy ain't right in like the first episode, and Peggy's like, but he's not our boy anymore. He's a man. He's like, well, that man ain't right. I believe it's in the episode where he proves to his father that charcoal actually isn't bad. No, yeah. Hank is. Do you know the premise of the new King of the Hill? He's been in Saudi Arabia the last like 10 years. He's a fan of soccer. Yeah, he's a fan of soccer, and like he's grown to have like a wider worldview of like he doesn't like charcoal, but he can accept that what Bobby's doing is based off of traditions where charcoal didn't exist. There was, or charcoal was the only thing to exist. There was no propane for Japanese style grilling. And like, it's honestly a real throwback, or, uh, it, it's weird. Like, Connie, she's in an open relationship with Ted Wasanasong or something, and her parents are divorced, but they still live together so that the like rich people at the country club, like the Wasanasongs, don't look down on them. That is the first episode, yeah, and like it's thought that because of like certain people, someone died while they were recording it. I'm pretty sure it was Dale, and because they were only given a certain amount of episodes for their new season, they restructured and organized the episodes. Because the next episode, he's no longer obese. It feels like he was supposed to stay obese instead for like half the season and then he would. But I'm not even kidding you. The episode after, he just turns back to Bill. He's just a tad bit fatter and older. Okay, no, he's supposed to be sad, not Down syndrome. Yeah. Yeah. But like Hank has never been one to not go back on his word. Like when Bill was very suicidal and started wearing his wife's clothes and pretending to be her, Hank put on Peggy's dress and said, that's this type of party." Uh-huh. Yep, we're weird like that. Just so Bill wouldn't feel so I don't know, ostracized because he was in the middle of a party and everyone's just like, "You're disgusting. What the fuck is wrong with you?" Oh yeah, there's an episode for that too. Remember Better Hank? Or I'm sorry, Good Hank? He gets into Andrew Tate, like toxic masculinity type shit, and um Hank takes the course with him, and they, like, to prove you don't have to be this to be a man, and that's not what a man is. I believe his ace in the hole was they started talking shit about him having no balls and that his wife has them in her purse all the time. He's just like, oh yeah? How many of you have a girlfriend? And all of them were like, uh, yeah, we're all single. Yeah, great relationship advice. Ask all the guys that can't get a woman because the women are so disgusted with how they act that they wouldn't date them. Yeah, like, Hank and Peggy are like millionaires. They, he took a work contract to do work on propane for Saudi Arabia, and like through doing that, they took their money, or Peggy took their money, and created a boar hunting business in Texas, which is a real thing. Texas has boar problems, and through that they became like multimillionaires. And then it's like the final or second to last episode, um, they lose it all, but Peggy actually listened to Hank's rant of saying it's too good to be true because like as soon as the stock became public, they it like crashed. But it's really good. I highly recommend it. The only downside is just like some of the voices are weird, and like it's not just Dale. It's like Khan is. I think the guy that voice acts Khan is actually the same person that voice acts Dale, and they both sound slightly off. I don't think that's actually, but that's my go-to headcanon of like. I think it was me because we talked about this before. It's like it would make sense. The guy's been smoking for like 30 years straight. But it's full of cameos. No, it was the people in DC putting carcinogens in the air to give people cancer. And then he proceeds to spray uh liquid silver into his fucking mouth and light a cigarette. Yeah. If the show never went out of like or like off the air though, there could have been some primo Dale moments with COVID. Just accusing Khan of bringing in COVID or something like that. Yeah. Khan's not dead yet. He's just like, no, he's Laotian. I can tell. It's got plenty of good moments, like during that toxic masculinity shit, like Hank's thinking about Cotton and like how he like this is a good Hank because I'm gonna be more of a father to him than you were. Like he's just like thinking in his head. Because when you're introduced, good Hank is literally Cotton. He like speaks word for word what Cotton would berate him about being a sissy girl and a mama's boy. Probably as close as you can get for those two. It's more like you're not as much of a sissy boy as I thought you were. And it's like multiple episodes where it happens, because, like, uh, yeah. Only after he put him in military camp and Bobby wouldn't break. He's like, you're right. Maybe he is just mush. But the thing about mush is, you may not be able to mold him, but you can't break him either. He's just mush. And it goes to like a pan to of the hole that Bobby was in, of like he says something about like something that kept him going, and it was like Cotton Hill 3 days, and then there's etching Bobby Hill 4 days. But it's kind of funny. And try to get him a prostitute. Yeah, they go into like a competition. It isn't an RA episode because he doesn't want Bobby to shoot guns, and his friends are all giving him shit because it's like, but you want to go hunting? When did you become so liberal and anti-gun? And Hank just like stone-faced turns around, it's like, Dale, has it ever occurred to you that the NRA is a government-funded organization based out in Washington D.C.? And he was just like, I've never thought about it like that. I have to rethink this. I mean, it does work, like, and it's always been the irony of his character that he's the biggest conspiracy theorist, but he doesn't know, even though it's in his face the entire time, that his wife's cheating on him and his son isn't his. There's like multiple episodes of it until he unknowingly guilt trips. No, that's just fan theory of like, how could you not know? It's like, because he's Dale. He believes that his son was founded from babies. That's why they went to Area 51. John Redcord wanted to tell him, but through Dale becoming his friend, Dale unknowingly guilt tripped the shit out of him and made him so like sorry for himself that he willingly separated from trying to get with his son. But in they kind of retcon that because in the current King of the Hill, uh, there's still like the affair is back on. Yeah, like there's a scene of like his wife being late and her hair's all fucked up, and he's just like, John Redcorn, what are you doing here? And he's just like, oh, I found her broke down on the side of the road, so I decided to give her a hand. And they act awkward, and like Hank's just looking at all parties like, this ain't right. That Indian's got like 4 kids. But John Redcorn is in business with them because they're rich. Everyone tries to sell them business ideas, and John Redcorn came with up with no, casinos are illegal in Texas. They tried that the first time in the original season. um, they Authentic Native American Red Corn by John Redcorn. He even like Buck Strickland is still alive. He's he's in like a well-off nursing home. Still like you've probably been in a nursing home where there's those type of old men who are like taking every chance to grab ass and shit. Cop a feel. He's like, now sorry Hank, I gotta go. I got a sponge bath. Have you seen the Moon Knight skin in the new Battle Pass? It looks so fucking good. It's like a robot. Yeah, it, like honestly looks really dope. I also noticed, huh? No Mr. Fantastic skins for the entire season? So 1.5 seasons without a skin, that's kind of crazy. That shows that like it's either hard for them to make or he doesn't sell well, which wouldn't surprise me because like that is a one of the I would say it's like second behind Spider-Man when you see one you're like, "Oh, there's actually a Mr. Fantastic on our team. What the fuck?" Yeah, it kind of gives those players an edge too because not many people have experience against good ones, so you don't know like how much sustain he actually can have when he manages his cooldowns. Kind of like Captain America before people figured out that he was good. Most people were like, this character is shit, he's so easy to kill. And then they get good and it's like, this guy's impossible to kill and he just keeps coming back like a mosquito until he gets something. It's not fair. Yeah. I do feel for Hulk players though, because it's going to be yet another season where they get banned just because of a team up. Like, I believe it's Namor Black Panther, which are no one wants to really ban Namor, and they always ban Hulk over it. And now that fucking BP's attached to it, Hulk just is gonna get banned on principle. I do hope we're hitting the point soon where like bans we get more, or switch to the way Pro works. Unless you're an alcoholic. Look, you and I both know Biggie didn't need to turn 21 to hit that point. He was there long before that. Uh huh. Yeah, his daddy and mommy issues. It's not easy being. Yeah, it's not easy being a repressed bisexual that also has daddy issues from abuse and mommy issues because she died early from cancer. And he happens to also be a Jewish African Islamic person, but he's white. It's really he is such Biggie is crazy. Board of directors, by the way. He definitely is unique. He was rocking the J Schlatt fucking cut before J Schlatt was popular. I rem- that's not too surprising, but still, it all adds up to a crazy picture. I don't think it gives you copper, Tim. No point to. Bro, just get the fucking plugin and put it above level 50s to hear conversations. Or put your private on private. Those are the least important things to report in the entire game. You can't get rid of them. No, you're creating 100 more. That's all you're doing. You ban one, 10 more come up. Okay, Aaron. How many messages do you have in your inbox when you log on? How many messages in your inbox do you have when you log on? Then no one you've reported has been banned. I have 2 from yesterday. Go to. Yeah, it's so hard to believe when, oh wait, Facebook is already doing that, Twitter's already doing that. Yeah, there's servers dedicated in WoW and this game for RP that is usually used for ERP. Dude, it's a classic in WoW. If you enter a fucking RP server, go take a run through Westfall near the inns. You will just have a check pop up in your feed and be like, what the fuck is going on over there? Because it will be some flirtatious activity or like quotations of like lifts up skirt. And then you go to the second floor of a tavern and you see a night elf and a dwarf, and it's like they see you and they're like, please leave. Oh yeah, they keep going. It's part of the kink. Yeah, they know they could go in a private chat or a friend's chat or a group chat. They're choosing not to. Well, yeah. I put on my robe and wizard hat. It's classic Red Ninja fucking shit where you troll people fucking around on the internet, literally. I jerked off 12 times today. 12! Do you think I wanted to do that? Do you know what it's like to jerk off out of boredom? Then I get stressed, and that makes me want to jerk off more. I'm peeling down there. My shit looks like a bruised orange. That's what Hotel California's about? Can't escape it. They force me to just jerk off on repeat. I have an addiction. I can tell you no, because the dances in this game were here long before Gaming Style. Possibly, but it's not that crazy of a dance. A survivor of a Slayer task. I mean, Chucky's done like 600 plus quests probably. Yes. Nope, my cannon's still going. No time. Fuck off. There could be a Dragon Warhammer at my feet when I come back. You're just a JPEG to me. Well, it's more so I'm using granite cannonballs, and if I got a Dragon Warhammer and missed it, I'd be very upset that you tried to socialize with me, and that's why I lost it. Yes, shamans are an automatic task to do on mains. You never skip them. They're good EXP, and they're good money. I don't know if it's different for Ironman because you have to use prayer pots and you have to. Actually, the antidote plus plus isn't hard to get at all, but I damn well know you're not cannoning them, so they take a lot longer. Because I've been in that Slayer cave and I didn't want to go back. Oh, I do it in the temples. It's so much different. You do it in a spot that can't be cannoned. I never bring staminas. You don't need staminas to do shamans. I was about to say, no, you've killed almost 10,000 of them, Chucky. Oh, I know. Conveniently after or before they changed the drop rate. Yeah, that part would suck a lot more. Eventually. No, it's just also like for an Iron Man, it does make sense, but on mains, a Warhammer compared to a BGS is only used over that in like 3 bosses in the game, and they're pretty much all raids. I mean, the chance of it is the chance of getting a pet off of most bosses, so it's not too far off. Not when you want. You say y'all, that's 90% of the community. Like it's just how MMOs go. It's very easy to burn out on a game that you sink limitless hours into. So eventually you need to like step back from it because you desensitized like all the serotonin the game can give you. Yeah, but anyone that you watch on Twitch or YouTube, you should be taking whatever they say with a grain of salt because they have the privilege of doing this as a workday job where they're putting 8 to 10 hours in a day. You do a better method and then you buy it. It is cool getting it organically. I mean, the odds necessarily aren't in your favor for those. It's not like no one's done it before, it's just not likely. You're gonna be doing a lot of medium clues on average. That's not how people got their ranger boots originally in Iron Man. They did diaries and farmed in Falador. Like Iron Man compared to when it was first created is a joke and ease nowadays. you took certain advantages, like you got to experience Wintertop before they nerfed all the rates on the supplies they give you. But that's kind of just how it is for RuneScape. Some yeah, you don't need to bring any food or anything now. All I have to do is put on my HP cape and a regen brace, and I don't even have to use the fucking shit. You just ignore it. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, they lag behind. Oh yeah, I ended up giving science 7 giant soul amulets last night. Aaron got none. Look, he got spooned anyways. It's just reverse spooning. You were one of the rare people that got a twin flame staff basically in a single trip. No, actually. We got 3 staff pieces, and the rest were like the standard alkables, trash, whatever. Yeah, most. It's basically the best staff you're gonna get until 90 plus magic when you're using a charge staff. He could get scales AFK anyways. You don't have to fight Zoro to get him. No, it's there's a fishing spot right by Zulra where you like gut these things and they have scales, and it's infinitely AFK because you just gut the full inventory of the things you fish and you end up with a stack. The mental illness Iron Man. They maybe think they're putting in a buy-in price and they're not. You pay attention to shit people say. But if you're getting ads for porn, you definitely watch a lot of it. It's because the porn websites that you're on are selling that information to Facebook and they're advertising that because they know that's what you actually watch. You're never safe. Because Facebook knows you're over the age of 18, which means those advertisements are free. Like, they're allowed to do it. You've agreed to it. You just don't know that you've agreed to it. Or when you... There's been an update to our terms and conditions. Please check them out before you move on. Skip. Ooh, someone messaged me. Well, they just not sharing? Oh. Aaron also learned the hard way that, like, if you don't loot your chest after someone loots it, you have 17 seconds before that shit despawns. You just look at your collection log. Do you really not know where your collection log is? Why your inventory? Literally the thing right beside your inventory. Character summary. Hit the tab that isn't the quest that you're probably on. The other fucking tab, the one that isn't the quest one. But it's not a, it's your character summary and there's happens to be a quest tab in it. That's why I brought up the quest tab, because I knew you were on that from doing quests, so you're just not seeing it. There's one for your character and one for achievements. No, it's not. It's on character summary. It may have used to be in the quest tab, but the default now is your character summary. Yeah, so is it also the achievement diary one if I'm on it? So you're objectively wrong, right? Well, when I said right before it, the thing beside your inventory. I knew your perspective. That's why I was telling you not the quest tab, because I know you were just questing, so you're not thinking to just click the other tab that says collection log. Yeah, Chucky, you have multiple years of your life put into RuneScape. Me and Corey have more than a year of our lives inside League of Legends games. Pretty sure it's Brandon Eric. Motherfucker's still at the bank. You. Bro, he's like a year from doing that. I was. It was mainly because Jared and I were talking about it, and then I realized that we were doing it differently. Trolls, I don't want to kill. Fuck it, I'll do trolls. You go to Nezanot, but I'm not a big fan of canon tasks. I'm the opposite of Tyler. What? I've already done that. That's what I like when I said you want to do a combat achievement that me and Jared did. Um, uh, your stats are a little low. Yes. That would be a really bad idea. Uh, really, if you want to do it, it's basically your trip's gonna be like one kill. And you would think that that would also get you the combat achievement for Let Them Fight, where the Royal Titans kill 10 elementals. Yeah, me and Jared couldn't do it, and I'm assuming it's because we were killing the bosses so fast that a group of 10 never spawned on each side. I think Jared got it, but I never got it. Because you couldn't kill the other ones? Yeah, probably. You were in there like 5 minutes. Yeah, that's the only one I haven't done is let them kill the elementals. The speedrunner is a minute 30 just because me and Jared didn't bother doing it, but it's not hard to do. And Titan Killer because Jared didn't want to keep doing it. All of the tasks are the same on it. No, yet like what's the other one? Like it's just how it works. It's a duo boss. Like no time to pray. Killed titans without using any prayer points. Yeah, that means both players can't pray the entire fight. If one of them turns a prayer on, it's an automatic failure for both. No, because if this was allowed, that means someone could continuously just come into my room in between kills and drop me supplies and leave. It does, though. You just go in together and one person drops all their shit for you. It's not gonna despawn ever. They could bring in 28 Cerebrus and just drop them for you and leave. Because the boss doesn't. Okay. Because the boss doesn't do damage to you if you do the mechanics. They can't damage you with the melee attacks. They can't damage you with explosions from the elementals. They can't damage you from the icicle or fire spawns. They can't damage you with any of the pulses. People make accounts literally to do that on bosses. People will level accounts to get kill counts at things like God Wars so that they can have stuff outside the room. Like, alright, I'm in between kills. Time for him to enter the room. You trade yourself. You resupply. The account dips. Or even better, they just get an ecumenical key and come in without having to get kill count at all. It is a very well-known tactic to use in the game. It's called doloing. Like solo but duo, but you're with yourself. It doesn't sound like it would be good. I mean, to be frank, getting 15 kills in a row duo isn't hard. That just means someone has to actually not fuck up the mechanics, or both people not fuck up the mechanics, because the boss doesn't really do damage to you. Yeah, but you're not testing the boss or the mechanics. You're doing a combat achievement that's past that point. The point is you're not in full control on some of these combat achievements. Okay. I mean, it is kind of gay, but that's just how it is. These are just extra gloat points. It's no different than playing a hardcore character on any online video game. Oh, I died because of a disconnect or because. No, I'm just saying that, like, has existed for like 20 plus years through Blizzard games by playing hardcore characters on an online environment where external factors can fuck you over. That's not fair. You signed up for something that's not fair. Does doing the boss 15 times in a row without leaving sound fair? No, you're trying to challenge yourself, and sometimes the challenge is, are the servers stable? Is your friend's internet IP stable? Did they remember to turn off the Windows update that's going to turn their game off soon? Like, then you don't have to play it. It's in the same ballpark of this is purely optional form of gameplay that you decided to do. Well, and you wanted it hardcore, so guess what? That's hardcore. Nope, that's not allowed. And you made the decision of that being possible when you made an optional choice to play a harder version of the game. Then you turn on cheat engine and roll back, or use a save state to roll back. But on online games, they are purely optional opt-in gameplay routes that you should know this is a possibility of a way of you getting fucked over. Okay, it is gay, but you showed up to suck some cock and you're being surprised that you're being called a fag. That's what this is. You opted in to do harder content that isn't fair, and when things aren't fair and it screws you over, are you surprised you got a cock in your mouth? No, you shouldn't. Cocks in my mouth were an intended mechanic. But sometimes you end up with a transvestite with a 4-inch clit. But you should know that's a risk of going to a glory hole that you might get killed by a fucking serial killer. Or a sex addict that collects cocks from glory holes. The risk is part of the fun. The analogies have gone very far. Like, if that bothers you, there's other combat achievements that are much, much more unfair. That's a lot of the combat achievements. Yeah. First aid, yeah. But like, and the other thing about rollback, by the way, it's not allowed because it wouldn't be fair to other players. And there's two parts to this. If you did allow rollbacks for just a single person, that means you have preferential treatment, and then it should be allowed to other people under extreme circumstances. No, we're not going to allow that as a company because we're not going to be accused of picking favorites or having preferential treatment to certain streamers because they bring in money to our game. On the wide scale, the big reason why they don't do rollbacks, okay, you lost your hardcore Iron Man. Let's roll back the server. But I just got a T-bow. Now it's gone? That's fucked up. So, no, there's not allowed to be rollbacks. You wanted to be hardcore? This is what it's like being a hardcore. And anyone that has played hardcore Blizzard games, like Diablo or World of Warcraft, them's the breaks, buddy. You should have known when you signed up that the most likely way of you dying is from lag. It's very rare. No, it's usually because of duping. The famous Tebow spawn by the Farming Guild. Because they're terminally online. Oh no, it was a dupe. I mean, the company has a long history of account security problems, like one of the lead mods stealing trillions from the richest players in the game, and since that point, he was fired, and then he had to actually change his real life name because no one would hire him. Or mod smackdowns because the only way of being able to get your account unfalsely banned would to be tweeting a mod and hoping that they would look at them. Now, like 90% of them would then get executed in public by proof of like, nah, dude, you are actually botting. Here's our this is the report. Here's our proof behind it. But occasionally you get someone who was actually falsely banned because when you have the type of player base this game does, it's actually very hard sometimes to differentiate between a bot's actions and a human actions when humans will play this game 6 hours in a row doing the exact same thing over and over again for 6 hours, just like a bot would. And autistic people usually get some outies. I don't agree. You can't make me. I'm deleting my VOD. I'm gonna start playing copywritten music and just get it muted. I'm sure it was. A lot of arguments come down to arguing over the same thing in this server. Something like that. Night, man. I think so.